What is going on, guys? Pot of Gold here. I'm gonna start a new series up. I think it's gonna be RimWorld for noobs a little tutorial here going on. I have all my mods turned off. Show you guys that, just the core game, no mods or anything like that. Just so we can kind of get a feel and an explanation for what RimWorld really is and what it's about. Um, we're here at the main menu. It is at its core a colony simulator. You're going to start with some guys and you try and survive. That's the base of it. We'll get a little bit more in depth as we go along here, but we'll try and do a little bit of get started, and I'll showcase, kind of the things you need to just prioritize, maybe in your first day, your first couple days, to kind of get your colony to have a nice little foothold. Eventually, I will go into in detail individually what these mods will do. I might turn them on one by one and go through individually. I might do one where I set up just specific scenarios where I use those mods and explain them individually. Whichever, seems to work better. Not 100% sure, but for right now, we'll just go ahead and start the new colony. You have three options here. You got the crash landed, which is 3 colonists. You get your set silver, you get your set meals, your set medicine, components, a survival rifle, pistol, a knife, and 1 random pet, flat steel, wood, and then on the map in around you guys, there's 720 steel, 7 extra meals, and then some parts of the ship apparently. Um, the rich explorer, similar, just with one person. You do have a higher research level. You can start with the gun turrets because you are alone. You get more silver, some gold, more packaged survival meals, some special medicine, the glitter world stuff, which is really really good. You have to research for that. And then some components, a charge rifle, which is phenomenal. It's the best rifle I think in the core game. 1 random pet, a crap load of steel, a crap load of wood, and then the Lost Tribe. You have 5 guys, some silver, a little bit of pemmican, herbal medicine, wooden club, wooden spear, a jade knife, 2 short bows, a pila, 3 random pets, and 500 wood. And that you're definitely set back in your technology because your tribe. You're set in the Neolithic time period. The rich explorer, you're set a little bit more in the future. You have a little bit of an advantage. And then the crash landed is just your base game. And then all of these can be altered with the scenario editor. You can go into any of these, you click the little edit mode, and you can change any and everything. It's amazing. If you want to start with 30 pets and just have a farm, and you really just kind of want to play Farmville or something like that, or Stardew Valley, that's totally your thing, and you can totally do that. You can set it up to where you can have cannibals, you can have zombie type guys, you can have all psychopaths, set them up to be prisoners, where they just are all psychopaths, all brawlers, and just like they're all irate, where they all just don't get along with each other, just going to constantly be fighting and getting at each other, and all of this stuff is fully customizable. You can change the weapons here, change the kind of weapon it is. It's gold, plasteel, silver, steel, uranium. Switch it from a knife to all of these. You got it has the food listed here. You can search through and find the weapon that you're looking for. But we'll go back. Just go to the crash landing, and you can obviously open up the Steam Workshop and get any of the custom scenarios that people have made as well, and any of the yeah, there's the custom scenarios. I don't think there's any custom AI yet. There might be custom AI. I haven't personally looked into them because I haven't felt the need to use them. But here are the 3 AI that come with the base game. It's Cassandra Classic, Phoebe Chillax, and Randy Random. And they all have their own little backstory. Cassandra Classic is just a procedural, gets procedurally worse as you go along. She throws things at you, in a progressive manner. So you'll get, start off with a couple of guys, then more and more and more. Phoebe Chillax is just relaxed, kind of let you do your own thing. She maybe will, she'll throw some stuff at you every now and then, but you can also adjust the difficulties here as well. And make her more difficult. Randy Random is exactly what it is. He doesn't follow any rules. It's just anything. I've been killed by deer 10 minutes into the game. I have had nothing for hours before, and I mean nothing, where you don't get anything, and it does get kind of boring sometimes. But there are times where it's just constant raids, constant bad things, or constant good things. You never know. It's random. Um, but for right now, we'll stay with Cassandra Classic. We'll go through the difficulties here. Peaceful, you just want the sandbox environment. No major threats. Major threats are disabled, but colonists can still get grumpy and animals can go crazy from time to time. Base builder mode is exactly what it sounds like. You just want like it says, to build a colony with the taste of danger. Major threats appear, but they're weakened, and some have extremely dangerous, and some of the extremely dangerous threats are disabled. Some challenge, rough, and intense. I always play on intense. Originally, I think this setting used to say this is how RimWorld is meant to be played. That's what it said. And then it used to show like these guys would have positive mood buffs. These guys would have more positive mood buffs. But if you played on extreme, that's when you started to get into the debuffs for the characters. So it would start making them, oh, they are permanently grumpy, permanently this or permanently that. Intense was there was none of that, but it was a challenge. It was meant to be, like they said, how it was meant to be played, and I really agree with that. So I always stick with intense. I haven't done extreme yet. I haven't really done any permadeath mode, and that is permadeath. There's no save unless you actually are closing out the game and you're done for the night. You can't roll back every single day. You lose a colonist, unfortunately, and that is really, really rough sometimes. So I wouldn't recommend that until you have a few hours into the game here. So we'll go ahead and hit next. Now we can create our world. This is going to be really cool in the next step here. We can create any seed we want, and it will generate the planet based on whatever you type in. So you can type in poop if you really want it to be that guy. Type in poop, and it'll make a planet poop. I always do planet pot, and it will generate the same planet every single time. But since I always do that, let's go with, you know what, I'm going to go even lamer. Planet gold. You guys randomize it as well. Random. Let's random it. Sometimes I do like to randomize, and you get a weird word or name. Elephant seal. Planet elephant seal. Awesome. That's a funny name. And then the globe coverage. The globe coverage means how big do you want the planet to be? Do you want it to be a 30% size? Do you want it to be 50% size? Or do you want it to be a full planet? This is a full globe, and this is really what the new update is about. It's having that full planet, the Wanderlust update. So I recommend it, doing it like this, and then if you adjust the rainfall and the temperature, you can make it a jungle planet or an ice ball and stuff like that, depending on the rainfall and the temperature and stuff. So you can adjust how the planet will see, but this will just generate a normal base Earth-like planet, I guess. Earth-like, I use that very loosely because you never know out there in space. You never know. But it's really great. The new Wanderlust mod is phenomenal. I've been playing since about, oh gosh, Alpha 13 or 14, and it's just gotten better and better over time. And now that they added the planet, where they're gonna go from there is just, are they gonna add another planet? Who knows? Because the eventual end game is you're trying to build a spaceship or get to another spot on the RimWorld where a spaceship was left for you to get off the planet. So now our planet has loaded, and now you see all of these options here, alright? All of these little houses and teepees and little skull and crossbones, they're all factions and towns and traders and pirates. Now, I have my mouse here, and I'm going to zoom in a little closer so you can see. I think they're all hexagons. Yep, they're all hexagons. You can click any single one of these hexagons on this planet, and you can make your colony anywhere. There are a few, like if you look, that says impassable. You can't. I haven't tried to build there yet. It says impassable, so I don't know what that means gameplay wise. Actually, when you get down onto the gate, like colonist level, the colony level. But you can just hit random, select random, and as you can see over here on the left, it gives you the description of the colony, or of the land where your colonist is possibly to sit. And you can also close that out. Click the terrain button, you can open up the planet, and it is Misam V, Seed Elephant Seal, and the coverage is 100%. And that means full planet, full sphere, a real sphere, not a flat map, laid over a ball. It is a real full sphere, and you can go all over the entire globe and cross it. It's phenomenal. So, seeing as we're going to do a little bit of a tutorial here on, kind of a little bit of a get started, we'll pick somewhere relatively easy. Let's just pick some, put that on here. Temperate forest, large hills. Sounds good. Now, you can also adjust the size of the map and the starting season. It has it set on a medium size there. I always play on the highest just because I like the size of it. It's for end game purposes. If you plan on really sticking around and doing the whole survival thing, you might as well have the big one. If you start with the smaller ones, that's awesome. You may feel that it's a little tight, that some of the raiders get there a little quick. You can always jump up to the larger ones, and it does give you the warning, larger map sizes, are gonna make your computer run a little slower because it does have to generate a lot. And that's the case, but I have found that this game is not demanding. It is not a demanding game at all. You should be able to run this. I am almost positive I ran this on my stock HP laptop. So it's fairly easy to handle. I'm gonna put it on the largest one, and then you can, like I said, you can spring, summer, fall, however you want to do it. I put it on auto. Just close that out, and then you can hit next, and then this is where you can select your colonists for the most part. Now, it generates 3 colonists at random, and you can either start automatically with these 3 colonists, or you can sit here and hit the randomize button until you get what you like. I usually fiddle with it a little bit. I try to be a little random because sometimes it can kill it, and there are mods that you can detail every last bit of this out, and that's cool too. That makes for a really detailed scenario if you wanted to do that type of thing. But I normally just click the random button. I find a doctor. See if I can find someone with medicine here. Find a doctor. Give me a second. If I could find someone with doctoring. You just really want to find someone. Oop, that's fine. That's a good one. He's a drug man, apparently. Nice. But he's got a high medicine, and there's a passion. The little fireballs next to any of these skills mean that they have a passion for it. It means they enjoy it, and they will get a bonus from there. You see that he learns at 150 times the rate, and he gets a 2 times joy from that. Alright? So that's great. He's going to be happy doing those things. And if you can get lucky and get someone with a lot of them, that's awesome. Even if they don't have a double, the burning passion, they just have the interest, that it still creates joy from that, and they'll still get a little bonus from it. So you'll want a doctor. I already have that set up. And then you'll want someone who can kind of grow and cook. Let's see here. See if I can get lucky with somebody who can do growing and cooking. Growing and cooking, awesome. Everything else I don't really care about. She's a grunt. And yeah, there's the backstory, there's the childhood of what they were. She was a medical assistant, which gives her a little bit of medical training. She was a low-wage worker as an adult, which gives her some of the cooking and the growing and the crafting. And then we have a janitor. And then normally I want a miner, because we do a lot of mining in RimWorld. You're getting a lot of resources. You need someone who's going to want to dig. You really do. And what's he, a blacksmith? 6. And he's good at crafting. And look, there's relationships. Alright, that's another thing that goes even further in depth with the characters. The colonists, or the characters, whatever you want to call them. There's relationships. All 3 of these people could be related to each other. But it just so happens that they are lovers. You can also get family members or lovers, ex-lovers, children, nephews, any sort of relationship status that you could get with somebody that you could think of. I think they could be that in the world. So you could get another faction leader who's your brother or cousin or ex-husband, and it will affect your relationship with them and that faction. So you can see here there's a plus 35 with Cray here. Now, if, say Scott here, they get into the colony together, they can also interact. He can hit on her, and she can turn him down, and that will affect Scott's mood, and that could also affect Velius's mood because he hit on his girlfriend. It's a very, very deep AI social structure that can cause a lot of things. And it's very funny sometimes to just watch and listen to their interactions. They don't actually talk, but you can see and read the little captions, I think, now. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and get started here because we have our colonists that we have chosen. Click start, and it will generate the map here. And once the map is generated, you'll just get your standard normal starting message, and it will just display that you have crashed from your starship and it's ripped open and there's a whole bunch of chaos and things are horrible, and that somehow you guys miraculously survived. But the long and the short of it, you made it, and you're here on this frickin' RimWorld, right? And we gotta survive. Go ahead and read that if you like. And it's gone. You're gonna fall from your drop pods here. Now, I always recommend the first thing you do, once you come out, is pause it. Right off the bat. Just pause the game right away. Alright? Now you can get a lay of the land. Zoom out as far as you can go. Now just go. Just go all the way out and see what you got. See what you got. See what you're looking with. Got some hills. Find a good spot where you're gonna stake your claim. You always want to be aware that the edge of the maps are where the raiders and the events happen, for the most part. Some things can drop in the center, and that does happen. I've had people drop in my base before. But it's rare. I always try and find a center-ish part of the map. Somewhere over here wouldn't be bad. That's not too far off center, but you don't typically want to be off in the corners. Unless you're playing a mountainous map, and in that case, half of your map would be rocks. And that's not that bad. You could pick a corner, and you could do okay. But for now, we actually spawned in a decent area. We have some decent coverage right there. So, after you've gotten your lay of the land here, you can come down and get a look at all the gear that you spawned with. You got your wood, your steel, your food, your weapons, and all that stuff. You see it all has the X's on it, right? That means your guys cannot pick it up. Now, you go and find your wood, you double click it to select all that's in the screen here that you can see visibly. Hit F to unforbid it, and you want to do that with everything that you got. Alright, and anything that you can see that has that X. You want to go ahead and take care of all of that. Sometimes you got to zoom in here, get the silver, the components of the medicine. You can unforbid the weapons if you really want to manually, but when this next step here, it will automatically do it. So now, the next step, see who gets the guns. Because you get the rifle. I almost said a shotgun. It's the survival rifle, and you get a pistol and a knife. So you want to kind of divvy that up to who's going to operate with them the best. So it looks like we have 2 for our shooters, and then 1 for our melee, it looks like. So it doesn't really matter. Neither of them have a passion for shooting. Scott is trigger happy, and Veli is nervous. Okay, I don't want the trigger happy guy to have the rifle, so I'll give Veli the survival rifle, and then the trigger happy person can have the pistol. I don't know why, but that's how I feel. I just want the guy with the rifle to be a little bit more of a careful shot, whereas the pistol guy can blast away. And then the other person will get the knife. Now, you can unpause it really quick, let them pick their stuff up, and pause it again. That's how I do it. This is all just how I do it, and none of this game is a set way. It's all a learning experience. There's a little learning tool, but it is not a tutorial. It's just kind of like, hey, you might want to do this. So there is no wrong way to do this. The only wrong way is the way that you die. And that, trust me, everybody will die. So the next thing we're going to want to do is get our zones set up. You want to get all this stuff that we crashed with put in a spot, right? We need it all organized and kind of put together so we can kind of get set up. Now let's go ahead and do that. Go into our architect down here at the bottom left. Got your little toolbar with all your little options showing the architect the work for the people, the colonists. You can restrict them to the hours of the day for their sleep, their joy, their work assignments. You can actually set them to work, an 8-hour shift, 9-hour shift, 10-hour shift, all of that. You can set to what they wear. You can set their drug policy, let them force them to do drugs all the time, make it so they can never ever do drugs. You can see someone here has teetotaler and chemical interest. That means they'll get addicted to certain things easily. Then there's the research tab. We don't have a research bench, but this is just a little base research stuff showing the green is what we have already unlocked, the gray is not unlocked, and then this is what we could potentially research. Then the world map is our world map. The blue house was us. Our history just shows the stats of our colony currently and how over the past 300 days, 100 days, and the history. It's a lifetime. Factions are our local factions that we can interact with. They're hostile to us, and all the green ones are positive to us. And you can see that they're enemies with each other as well. So how you interact with different colonies can affect the other colonies, which is very, very in depth. You don't have a lot of games that do that. It's a nice little ecosystem. Sometimes you can start a lot of fights. You can also make a lot of friends. But we can get back to the zones here. You'll want to go into your architect there down at the bottom. Go in the top right to your zones. Get your stockpile out. And for now, we'll just go. We actually have some buildings built here. That's pretty lucky. We'll just stick it in here. All right. And we'll just want to set that up here, and then we can go ahead and get the colonists moving. And I'm using spacebar to get them going at normal speed, but you can also use the 1, 2, and the 3. The 1 is normal speed, which we are currently at. The 2 is double time, and then 3 is triple time. That's a little faster, but some people like to play at that. Eventually, you will start moving at that speed, but you need colonist beds right off the bat. We need to get these guys some beds, and then we'll have to get them some food, and we will have to get all of their little needs taken care of. We'll have to get the growing set up. Let's see if we can get a door on here. All right. Now they will start working on that. Oops, I forgot to block that off. In a second. Now, to do all that, I just went into my architect here, and went into your structure, all of this stuff here. It's your walls, you have your furniture for your beds, and all your little miscellaneous tables and house stuff. Oh no, somebody broke up. See, what did I say? They were lovers when we started, right? The second we got onto the RimWorld, they broke up. The AI is very, very in-depth. It's pretty crazy. But you want to get them a bed set up in the first day, and you want to get a roof over their head. Nobody wants to sleep outside after crashing out of a ship. You're just trying to get a little bit of stability for these guys, because things can go bad pretty quickly in this game. So having a good foothold at the beginning is very important. So she's gonna go ahead and get that up. Got the wooden door. She's getting the first bed. Alright. Go into my production tab here. And then I want a fueled stove. Stick it right there. And then I want a butcher table as well. Want to get their meal source going pretty quick here, since we got the beds up. And that's another thing, you just want to keep their base needs going. If you click each colonist here, you'll see the social tab, like I was talking about, and you can see how they're interacting. You get a nice chat with Veli the entire time. And this is the same for every character. It goes and shows the plus and minuses for how they are with who they know. And then you can see their gear and what they are carrying and their average armor for what they could be attacked with. You can also force them to drop said items. So she's carrying food. If she was picking up some special food that you didn't want the colonists to eat, you could force her to drop that and forbid that for some reason. Because there are certain foods that you will come across the colonists will prefer over others, and if you're saving them for a special occasion or something, then you would want to go ahead and forbid that. Then you have the character, which is just the base stats, so you can get a reminder of that. Then the needs, which is, you'll be in here a lot. This is where you're managing their food, their rest, their joy, the beauty of their environment, that where they're at, currently standing on the tile that they are, and their comfort, where they are currently standing, and the space where they are currently standing. That's why these three are a little smaller, because that is always fluctuating. It's constantly moving. And then this is just the overall general mood. And then here are any notes that you may see, any of the positive buffs, and then any debuffs. She ate without a table, and that sucks. So she had to stand and eat her food, which, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, but she was pissed about it. Um, so they're gonna go ahead and get the rest of the stuff hauled here. Let's see if I can speed it up a little bit. Check my timer. Coming up on 25 minutes. I think I'm gonna speed it up. Ooh, one more thing. Once these were built here, the little food tables, we got our butcher table. We want to go ahead and into the bills. You want to add your bill, and you want to go ahead and butcher creature, do X times, and you want to change that to do forever. You always want them to butcher the creatures down. You don't want a whole animal. It's just too much. And then we want them to cook simple meals. There's 3 of us, so I would always suggest do 25. And you can always manually click that up to 25 like I do. Or you can go to the details, and you can actually pick the ingredients down to, if you wanted it just beef or just bird meat, however you wanted it. If you were farming animals, you could do it like that. And you can also set the amount. Sometimes that's quick, you just jump right to 25, or if you need to make it like 100, you just jump up by 25. Do until we have 25. Do until we have 25. Always, I'm sorry. If we do it like this, then this means our stockpile should never go below 25. If we did it the other way, we would have made 25, and that was it. Now, on this one, we have all of our bills set up. All right. We do not have a table yet, which is okay. They can hate me for that. But we can get it queued, I guess. I think so. And you do want chairs, because it's a comfort thing and it will make them happy. Happy colonists means a successful colony. Sorry about that, I had a little bit of a mush mouth. Alright, I think we're going to end it here. We got all of our people in bed. We got a nice little setup. We got our little storage thing that will eventually become a refrigerator. That is something we will work on. I think on the next day we're going to try and get some power down. Maybe close this up so we're indoors cooking our meals. And then get our growing zones down so we can actually survive a little bit longer. Because currently we don't have a lot of food. We got 26 meals. We're going to have to hunt and start growing pretty quickly. Alright guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.